Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across my platform. If it is your first time and you like what you are watching, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when we upload a new video. Here in Linda's TV show, we react to all forms of videos and we'll sit down there to watch it together with you. And I want to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform. I put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, we do not promote violence, we do not promote hate speech, we do not promote misleading information. We are here to inform and educate the members of the public about the happenings. And again,
Italy belongs to Giorgia Meloni. Giorgia Meloni, you are the Prime Minister of Italy, and you can turn Italy to anyhow you want. But you see one thing that make me to bring you on my table today, Giorgia Meloni, the Prime Minister of Italy. The problem is you are turning the black people's mind upside down, and you are playing with the black people's mentality. And I want to send this secret out today to sell out Italy, how they treat migrants to the world. And I want the video to share this video to reach to the so-called immigration's defense, to the so-called immigration organization, to the so-called human rights organization. I want my video to reach to them. Let them know what is going on in Italy. Let them know what Italy government is doing. I will say they know what Italian government is doing, but they are just ignoring it because they are white peoples. As far as a white government is maltreating black peoples, it's not a problem. But a white government cannot maltreat its own fellow white. That become the whole world problem. They put even the problem on black peoples. Today I'm going with Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, because of the speeches he made about Africa, that he is ready to help Africa. He want to make projects in Africa. He want to make more projects in Africa. He want to help Africans. France is destroying Africa. I want to ask Giorgia Meloni this question. Are you not destroying Africa? Giorgia Meloni, are you not destroying Africa? Are you not destroying Africans in your country? This message is going to Giorgia Meloni, so please help me let this message reach to Giorgia Meloni, and let this message reach to the so-called human rights organization. Giorgia Meloni says you want to open more projects in Africa, and Africans are so proud of Giorgia Meloni when he made that speech. When she made that speech, Africans are sharing that video, proud of her, saying that France is maltreating Africa, France is colonizing Africa, France is stealing everything from Africa. She is the one who wants to help Africa. I want to ask Giorgia Meloni, where do you want to help Africans? In Africa? When you are maltreating Africans in Italy? As an Italian Prime Minister, you go into power because you said you are going to maltreat black migrants that give you power today to become a Prime Minister. We know the secret. You were so racist when you were doing your political campaign, saying that you are going to deport every black man and you are not going to give documents to any black man, and Italians will be the first, then black people in Italy will be the last. This is a word from Giorgia Meloni. Today you are saying you want to help Africans. Which Africans do you want to help? I want to tell you something, Giorgia Meloni, Italian Prime Minister. You are maltreating migrants. Entire Italy is maltreating migrants. And I watched your speech, Giorgia Meloni, when she came out, the Italian Prime Minister said, she need black peoples. She need black migrants. She need migrants in Italy. Italy need migrants. This is a word from Giorgia Meloni. It's not my words. Look at a woman who is telling you, as a Prime Minister of Italy, telling you that he want to make project in Africa. France is stealing from Africa. He want to make sure that France doesn't steal from Africa. But he is finding her own ways to steal from Africa. She is finding her own ways to destroy Africans in her own country. He is only seeing what France is doing to Africa. Giorgia Meloni is only seeing what Emmanuel Macron is doing to Africa. But Giorgia Meloni is not seeing what herself is doing to Africans in Italy. And that I will reveal today for the whole world to know that we don't like how Italy treats migrants. No matter how France colonized Africa, no matter how France maltreat Africa, no matter how France steal from Africa, but France was still best place for migrants. Believe me, more than Italy. France was still a best place. I'm not supporting France of being in Africa. Against France being in Africa. I want France to go out from Africa. But I am just giving you the calculation or the evacuation between these two countries who are most better for migrants. France is more better when it came to migration, Africans migrating. France is more better than Italy. What did Italy do to migrants? Italy, Giorgia Meloni, the Prime Minister of Italy, migrants came in, you rejected them. Before you will become the Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, there was Salvini, who rejected a boat before, that migrants will not come, and all of them sink in the sea. After then, Giorgia Meloni, you came into power with Salvini, the former Prime Minister. You are now working with the former Prime Minister of Italy. The present Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, is now working with the former Prime Minister, Salvini, trying to make sure that black people suffer. And that same Giorgia Meloni is going around Africa. I want to help Africans. The same Giorgia Meloni who is telling you that she wants to help Africans, the same Giorgia Meloni was making a meeting with Tunis to make sure that black people suffer. Whatever action that Tunis was taking on black people, to take black people to Sahara to die there. How many black people die in Sahara because of hunger, no food, between the border of Tunisia and Libya? It was caused by this Giorgia Meloni, this same Giorgia Meloni, who is ranting, lamenting, like she loves Africa. But she hates Africans themselves. So this is my message to Africans to understand that this woman down here, she don't love Africa and she never want to see black people progressing. This woman is the Prime Minister of Italy, but she make laws that make it difficult for black people to find a way to survive in Italy. This woman, Giorgia Meloni, is the Prime Minister of Italy. She made so many laws that will make black people to remain in hunger and in suffering. When black people were the peoples who work tomato for Italy, watch black peoples how they suffer. Making tomato. Watch black peoples how they suffer cutting mandarin for Italians. But those same black peoples who cut tomatoes for you, who cut mandarin for the Italian, those same black people still don't have access to the Italian document. The only Italian document that can be made in just 2 minutes, you have to spend 5 years in Italy before you will have that document. They said due to process. What kind of process? Migrants living in Italy doesn't live in a better house. They live in tent. Giorgia Meloni, I want to bring that to your notice. Since you are not emphasizing that in media, you are emphasizing in media that you want to help black peoples. But black peoples living in your own country, you couldn't help them. You were making them to suffer. They are living in tent. They are not living in a house, but living in a tent where those black people, when they are in their own country, they will never live in that kind of tent. They will never live in this kind of houses. But that same Giorgia Meloni is shouting, lamenting. Look how black people live their life in Italy. But the same Italian Prime Minister who put black people in this condition, the same Prime Minister is telling you that they want to make project in Africa. Whatever is happening was happening in Niger. This Giorgia Meloni is included. This Italian Prime Minister. I will show you the picture. This is the picture with him and Bazoum, the former president, the puppet president of the West, the slave of the West. This is the picture of the Italian Prime Minister and Bazoum. This Italian Prime Minister is included in Bazoum by brainwashing Bazoum to maltreat his own peoples and give every natural resources of Niger to the West. That same Italian Prime Minister today, you are proud of him. You are proud of her. Everybody think like because of that short video she made in making a good speech about Africa. Every wicked Western and Prime Minister can make a good speech about Africa because they know what they are doing to Africa. You think they don't know? All the European Prime Ministers know what they are doing to Africa. and what they are doing to Africans. So if they want black people to love them, they try to make themselves like they are fighting the freedom or the liberation or trying to stop the sufferation on black people. They speak in that way, but their actions are more worse. What they do in secret and what they bring it out for you in public is quite far different. That is this what Giorgia Meloni is doing to Africans right now. Giorgia Meloni is treating Africans in Italy like animals. Africans are living in a places where even Italian animals will not live. Black peoples in Italy are living in a places where even Italian animals will not live. But black peoples are living there. And the same Giorgia Meloni, Italian Prime Minister, is telling you that he is trying to make sure that black people are this, black people, France is maltreating black people, France is stealing everything from black people. But the same Giorgia Meloni is trying to make sure that you black people suffer, you black people die in hunger, you black people never make it, you black people to live in dirty places. The same Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni make you black people not to have documents anymore in Italy. The same Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni sees every document of many black peoples, thousands of black peoples. For no reason. For no reason. But the same Italian Prime Minister is bragging. I want to show you some pictures where Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni ascoltate. A noi gli immigranti servono. I will tell you that meaning, that is an Italian. But she is saying that Italy need migrants. How do Italy need migrants? How? When you seize every document from migrants and send them away, they all run away and go to another EU country. Because you seize documents from them, you refuse to give them documents. The most lowest payment for workers in Europe here is in Italy. If you are a migrant, you know what I'm talking about. If you are a migrant in Italy. Italy don't pay migrants. If you go to France, you work 4 hours, 5 hours, you get good salary. You go to Germany, you get good salary. You go to Spain, you get good salary. Came to Italy, you work 9 hours, 10 hours for just 30 euro. With hard labor work. That is Italy. Look at our brothers who work in the tomato farm. They work 9 hours in the tomato farm. Do you know how much they get? 30 euro, maximum 35 euro in Italy. Migrants working in the Mandarin, watch them. They work 9 hours, 10 hours. What do they get? 30 euro or 35 euro maximum in Italy. And Georgia, the same prime minister who is doing this to migrants, the same prime minister is telling you that he wants to help black Africans. The same prime minister that go to Tunis to make millions of black people to die in Sahara between Libya and Tunis border is the same prime minister is telling you today he wants to make project in Africa. The same prime minister that is urging an African leaders to become more slave to the West. The same prime minister is telling you that she wanna help migrants. Giorgia Meloni, stop fooling yourself and stop fooling Italians, because you can't fool we. A document that can be made. Black people are suffering in Italy in the name of we want document. To an extent, this Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni put a constitution that a black man, when you have a document and you want to change it, you can't change it with a hotel work contract. You can't change it with a decent work contract. You have to go and do a dirty work, that is farm work. In Italy, if your document finishes and you want to change it, you have to go and do a dirty job to have a contract. You can't have a contract of hotel and change your document. You can't have a contract of restaurant work and change your document with it. You can't have a decent office work contract and change your document. It's impossible in Italy. As a migrant, you have to go to the farm. Because the hotel work and restaurant work, civilized work, office work, they prepare it for their citizens. Farm work is only for black migrants. So by force, either you like it or not, if you are living in Italy, you have to do farm work. This is why they make that constitution, to make sure that every black man living in Europe here, in Italy here, to go to farm work. Because so many black peoples before, some people were working in hotel, some people were doing some office work, some people become assistants in some office, so they are doing decent work. So this, because of the racism in Italy, they hate black people seeing black man working in an office. They hate black man being working in an hotel. They hate black man seeing a black man preparing food for them in a restaurant. Because of due to the racism in Italy. Now they form this system that as far as you are a black migrant living in Italy, when you want to change your documents, That document that can be changed in 2 minutes. When you want to change that document, you have to go to farm work and have a farm work contract of 1 year, maximum 1 year, 6 months or 1 year, but maximum must be 1 year. When you don't have that contract, you can't change your document. If you put your document inside, your document will not come out unless you find out that contract, that farm work contract. You must go and do agriculture. So to the extent, Italian racism get to the extent that they prepare farm work for only migrants. But that same prime minister today is lamenting, shouting, I want to help black people. I want to make project. He's going to Tunisia. He's going to Niger. He's going everywhere in Africa, lamenting. Giorgia Meloni, I want this message to reach to Giorgia Meloni, Salvini, and the so-called a human rights organization. Came to Italy and see how black peoples are suffering. Came to Italy and see how black peoples, black migrants living in Italy are suffering, working in a day, 10 hours in a day, and getting only 30 euro, 35 euro maximum payment. Which white man will work for his fellow white man in Europe for 10 hours hard labor in a farm under the hot sun and will be paid just 35 euro? Which white man will do that? But they did it to black peoples. The same Italian prime minister is telling you that he cares about black people. They need black people. They need migrants. Italy don't need migrants. Migrants leave Italy. Before, in the whole European countries, Italy was the most populated, most population. The country that have the most population of black migrants. That is Italy. But now it become less. Why? Because Italy tried to show that they are intelligent and black people came here for a reason. When you refuse them for document, you refuse them for good payment when they are working in hard labor in Italy. All black people started migrating and going to another European country. They have better life there than Italy. They live in Italy waiting for document for 2 to 3 years, 10 years. Some people are living in Italy for 20 years. They don't have document. And they didn't commit any crime. But due to the racism, due to the highest level of racism in Italy, they refuse to give them document. Due to the highest level of racism, they refuse to let them even have a good job. No black man can get a good job in Italy. A decent job, you can't have it. You have to go to the farm, no matter who you are. This is wickedness. Giorgia Meloni, I want to tell you this. We the Africans, we don't believe no white prime minister anymore. And we don't trust no white prime minister. And we don't want no white prime minister to stand and say you are defending black people. Don't defend us. We will defend ourselves and we will fight for ourselves. That's what I want to give the message to Giorgia Meloni, the Italian prime minister, to understand this, that we don't need you to sit and say Africans are poverinos, Africans are this, they are poor, they are this. That's what she is emphasizing on Italian TV always. She said, look, Burkina, children are there, they are poverinos, they are poverty, poverty is killing them, poverty is doing this, Africans are poor and we want to help them. People who you say they are poor and you want to help them, they are working in your country for 10 hours, 9 hours, but they get only 30 euro for 9 hours. For 10 hours, they get 35 euro. And you say those people are poor, you pity for them, you are emphasizing, describing Africans as poor peoples. When you know the Italian poor peoples are more than the poor peoples in Africa. When you know even Italian citizens are poor, some of them cannot even have a food to eat. Italian citizens I'm taken to. Some Italian citizens don't even have a food to eat. Don't even have even 5 euro in their account. There are black people living here who have more than 10,000 euro in their accounts. Many black peoples. But they will not describe their own weakened point to the media, but they want to describe the weakened point of Africa to the media. You are laughing at Africa, Italian Prime Minister, when you came out to say that Africans are poor and you want to help them. When were you helping? When do you started helping Africa? What do you do in Africa that help Africans? Tell me, all these years you were lamenting as the Italian Prime Minister that you want to help Africa because they are poor, they are this, they are that, and they are migrating. What do you do for Africa? The only thing you could cause in Africa is damage and cause more poverty in Africa, Giorgia Meloni. You didn't help Africa and you will never help Africa and you are never ready to help Africa. The only thing you are trying to do right now, we understand your point. You are trying to find a way that so that Africa can feed Italy. Since France, Africa is feeding France, Africa is feeding Germany, Africa is feeding Spain. You want to find a way so that Africa can feed Italy also, because you people are hungry and you refuse to work. Africans work hard in Italy, they get low payments, while Italian citizens refuse to work, but they get higher salary. And still they are poor. Africans are more richer than them. As a black man in Italy, when you dress well like I am dressing even right now, when I go out, they hate me. Because they think like every good dresses that black people wear, they stole it. They think like if you see a black man in supermarket spending 50 euro or 100 euro in 1 minute in supermarket, mean he is a drug dealer or he stole the money. This is what is happening in Italy, my fellow black peoples. You have to understand that the Italian prime minister who you are supporting in media, who you are pushing in media, that Italian prime minister, his speech is good. When you watch her speech, you will think like seal of Africa, seal of black people. But she is the most highest racist prime minister in Europe. I will tell you that. There is no doubt about that. And even if Giorgia Meloni is sitting in front of me, I will tell her that she is racist. Because I live in Italy and I understand that the laws they put on black migrants, they make black migrants to suffer in Italy. And I understand that the system is just to turn black peoples to remain poor and to remain in poverty, for black peoples to remain begging. That's all. That's the system. They will never put a system that will favor black peoples, but they will always put a system that will make black people to suffer. That is maximum total wickedness. Total wickedness. My black peoples, remember my words always, and always know that I will be here to open your eyes as an African, to tell you the fact, nothing but the fact that will help you to maintain your own personal life, but not to listen to the Western peoples or Western prime ministers or Western media. Those are medias and Western prime ministers, they only tell you bloody lie. But they are never ready to see any African out there progressing. They are never wanted to see the development of Africa itself. They always want to see Africa in poverty, Africans in war, Africans in damage, Africans in catastrophe. Remember that West have never been there to help Africa, and they will never be there to help Africa. They are always there to cause war in Africa, to make Africans to remain in poverty, to cause hunger in Africa, but they will never be there to help Africa. This is my message to my fellow Africans out there.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.